Hi, I'm Terry from Bed and Biscuits Boarding and Training Facility, and this is Flicka. She's done really, really good with her obedience. She's here for a couple reasons. To learn her obedience a little bit better, and also for other dog aggression issues that she's had. And she's done a lot better, but a lot of it has to do with the person's on the other end of the leash. You know, if you see another dog coming around that's on a leash, or I think you were saying bicycles, um, you know she's going to get a little wound up when she gets near them. So give her a little correction before she even gives any kind of a problem. What I do is just to pull and release and tell her to heel or whatever, just to let her know she needs to be paying attention to you. If you see that she's really focusing on a bicycle or a dog or a cat or something else, keep going the direction you're going. Don't stop, and just keep giving a little pull and release. So she's keeping her attention on you more than she is of the distraction. That's the whole key to the game. Once you do that several times and she knows that she has to listen to you regardless of what there is out there, and she can trust your judgment as she's not in danger, she doesn't have to protect you, everything's going to be okay, she'll get better and better. But I think we've already talked about when you've seen a bicycle or something, you would stop her, get between the bike and her, and kind of hold her and let her kind of jump up into your lap a little bit with her front feet and hold her. Um, like I said, we've talked about it. Try not to do that at all, because that's really advertising to her that there's a problem. So she's going to expect that every time. If you go by, just kind of ignore the situation. Um, Keep right on going straight no matter what she does. Give the corrections like I say, and just keep going. Don't stop. And as she gets better and better, you can stop her, and maybe the person off the bicycle can come up and pet her or something. But that's down the line of ways when she gets better and better with it. But I've walked her through the kennel to several dogs, and she doesn't even. I can sit her right next to them. Sometimes she'll set her back to them because she doesn't want that temptation to have to look at them. And but she won't bark at them. She won't go after them. She does really, really well. So um, if you want to bring her back every so often, like if you're going to need to board her or something, and I can continue this with other dogs that are here, um, we can do that. But this is going to need to be something that's ongoing for quite a while to get her through this, to where she feels she doesn't have to attack every dog that comes by, or a bicycle or whatever freaks her out. So what we're going to do here when we return is we're going to do about 4 or 5 different exercises: the heel on lead, the sit stay, down stay, and the recall. And I'll show you the hand signals and the verbal commands as we go along. So when we return, we'll return to the heel on lead. Good girl. Okay, this is going to be Flicka's heel on leash. I believe it's your leash, a 6-foot leash. I do like this. I think we've talked about it. The only thing is, I think it works better for you because you're shorter. I'm a little bit taller, so I don't want it to be pulling on the dog. I don't want the collar to be tight all the time when we're walking. I like to give a loose leash, so you can be walking along. You don't even have to be looking at the dog. If you feel that leash get tight between your hand and her, you know she's trying to go somewhere other than where you're at. And you just give a pull and release and keep walking. That's the whole key to the heel on leash. Keep walking regardless of where she wants to go. A lot of times when she first starts, she wants to pull out in front of you. A couple little pull and release, pull and release. I do a lot of right hand turns to cut her off, to know that she has to stay back here. She can't go up there and me make a right hand turn. I'm going to be cutting right into her. So if you get parallel to her like this and you just keep going right hand turn, she knows she has to stay back here, or you're going to step on her. So that's a little trick, and but she does very, very well with it. So normally I train the dog on the left side, but that's not a problem at all. You wanted the dog on the right side because you're stronger with your right arm or hand. That's fine. It doesn't matter to me at all. So I've taught her on the right side. Usually I start out, before I do the heel, I'll put her in a sit, okay? And I'll start walking. Just take your first step and tell her to heel. And you just walk along. Like I said, keep it loose. When you stop walking, she should sit. She may want to, if she's not paying attention to you or distracted, she's going to keep walking, not even realize you stopped. So as you see that, just give a little pull and release. She'll get her attention. She'll see you've stopped and she'll sit. And then you start walking again, right turn, left turn, about turn. She should be at your left side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring her back. I'm going to start out with her at my right side at a sit. Good girl. Just take your first step and walk, and then when you stop, she should stop also. Ready, Flick? Heel. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. If she doesn't sit for you, make her sit, but she usually does sit pretty darn good. Good girl. Yeah, got the leash nice and loose. Heel. Exercise finished and praise your dog. Good girl. This is going to be Flicka's recall. Again, you put her in a sit at your right side. Hand signal to sit, just bring your hand up like that. Then you're going to turn face her, put the hand in her face, the palm of your hand like that. That's to stay. So it's sit, stay. Walk slowly out to the end of your leash. If you first at home can't get all the way to the end of your leash before she starts to follow you, then only go like one step out and continue. You got to say stay very firmly or she will try to follow you. And then when you get to whatever point you're going to get, eventually out to the end of your 6-foot leash, turn and face her. And your last hand signal to remember is bring your hand to your chest as you tell her to come. Use her name and tell her to come. She should come to you and almost always sits at your feet. But the big thing here is to teach her to come to you. So when she's off lead later on down the road and you call her, she comes to you, okay? But I've taught her to come to me and sit. Okay, so we're not going to start out from down, so we're going to come on, click, sit. Okay, sit, stay, 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 click, come. Exercise finished and praise your dog. Thank you. Okay, this is going to be Flicka's sit, stay. Again, she's at your right side. Hand signal to sit is bring your hand up like that. Tell her to stay with a hand signal in her face, the palm of your hand in her face. Walk out. You may only be able to go a step or 2 steps at first and just stand there for a few seconds. Just tell her to stay and then return. I'm going to go out to the end of the 6-foot leash and not very long, and then return. As time goes on and you get better and better at it, she gets better and better at it, you can stay out there for longer lengths of time, a minute or two, and come back and go out longer distances. But at first, start at very small increments. Okay, come on. Sit. Stay. 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 Reinforce the word stay. 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 Exercise finished and praise your dog. Good girl. Okay, this is going to be Flicka's down stay. You put her in a sit, exactly like you just did with the sit stay. You're just going to turn and face her. Point to the ground. You may have to put your finger right to the ground. Tell her down. Hand signal to stay. Walk out to the end of your leash. But reinforce the word stay as you walk away, or she's going to get up or try to follow you. Okay? So she's already sitting. Down. Stay. 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 I've laid the leash on the ground. Stay. So if you opt to bring her back for the off lead, she's that much closer to it. She's doing very well. Stay. 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 When you return, you reinforce the word stay. Stay. Down. Stay. Exercise finished and praise your dog. Good girl. Okay, for a conclusion, Flicka's done really, really well. Very typical of a German Shepherd. They do extremely well. If you can do these exercises that you just seen here you can do it once or twice a day, you're going to notice to where you and her click Um, and you get better and better. You can stay out the end of your stays longer. She'll listen much better. You got to kind of click together, and you'll find out as you go along little things that you can do that make her react better, and some things not to do because it's going to get her hyped up and make her not listen as much. So she's done really really well. I mean, she's got huge capabilities. Like I say, typical of most shepherds. Um, she's definitely, if you wanted to bring her back later on down the road, I'd give her definitely time with you at home on leash. If you wanted to bring her back later on for off lead, she could learn it like a piece of cake. So going in and out of doorways, something I do with the training dogs here. Walk up to the door, put her in a sit, tell her to stay, open the door. I walk through it first. Of course, she's on a leash. I walk through it first. I turn to her, do a recall, hand signal to my chest, tell her to come, and then she comes in the door. She's so good at coming in and out. I even do it off leash. When I bring her out here to go to the bathroom sometimes, um, there's not even a leash involved. She comes up to the door when I call her. I tell her to sit, stay. She will. You can tell with you, she has snuck past you before because she will try still every once in a while to squeeze through real quick. I never have let her get away with that. So she's slowly learning it's not working. So she's slowing down on trying. But I stand in front of the door so she can't get through. Tell her to sit, stay, open the door. I come through. I call her to me. She comes and she comes skidding to a stop in front of me. Go to my next door, do the same thing. The big thing is don't let her get past you and go past you because obviously off leash you got no way to get her back to you. So don't let her get past you, and eventually you'll start to see she won't try. She'll just come straight up to you and sit when you call her. But just do these exercises at home and she'll get better and better. And if you ever want to bring her back for off lead, I'd love to work with her. Thank you very much. Good girl.